Hello, Bashar. Thank you for your presence today.
It is our passion and our pleasure as always.
Thank you. The last 3 months for me, it's as if I have arrived at a new train station.
Yes.
And the train station, as you have put, has been going in different directions. But this particular train station seems very chaotic, lots of trains, a lot more intensity.
Yes.
And on some trains, I see going down on the low end, human suffering and food shortages and things like this.
You are being very perceptive, and this is why this is a companion piece to the transmission called The Eye of the Storm,
Yes.
in which we invited you all to stay calm in the center, because what's happening now is you are at the train station called the Eye of the Needle. And this is a very narrow passage that many of you are now going to pass through, but the only way to do it effortlessly is to strip yourselves of more and more of the negative and fear-based belief systems so that when you emerge on the other side of this passage, you can accelerate more towards the idea of the reality you prefer. But on the other side, many people may decelerate and not go toward the reality that would necessarily be the one representative of the highest joy. So this is an extremely crucial pivot point in this passage through the eye of the needle that will determine many things you will experience on the other side of this eye. So you are perceptive in understanding the chaos that surrounds this particular pivot point at this time and how crucial and important that it is.
Over the last 3 months, I've had many, many miracles that I could not have even imagined.
Yes.
Particularly around financial things happening.
All right.
That have uplifted me and prepared me for this time of a downturn, a financial downturn in the economy. As a matter of fact, some things have happened where even now I'm still, my business is still going fine.
All right.
To my surprise.
Well, don't be too surprised because, again, you have been willing to relax somewhat the idea of your definitions of abundance so that you can allow all forms of it or more forms of it to work for you rather than just the monetary representation. This will always be the purpose of the idea of sequestering yourselves in this way at this time through the isolation and social distancing is to go more deeply within so that you can divest yourself of the things that don't work for you so you can move forward in a more accelerated and effortless way. That's what this is all for. So congratulations on riding that particular frequency wave.
Thank you. I still, and even in the face of huge miracles for me,
yes,
I still have anxiety and doubt and
fear. Why?
Well, I was examining this and I noticed that one condition that I usually set up my magic to work is I have to put myself in a position of need. I can't be in a position of preference or want.
But need is not desperation. Need is simply an alignment with the basic needs of life, as we have discussed. It's not about the wants. It is about the needs, but don't translate or define need as desperation, not as needy. It's basic need, and that's fine. That's an acceptant, open state of being willing to receive what you need. Watch your definition. It is more important now than ever before to be precise about your definitions of those terminologies. Need is not neediness. Yes. Need is open to receiving the basic needs of life, which if you receive them, will fulfill you. Okay. Yes?
Yes.
All right.
And I can see from what you just told me also that part of my misbelief, if you would put it that way, I project onto situations that aren't life and death, but I perceive them as such, so it creates a sense of anxiety.
Yes, well, you will always perceive them that way if you're coming from the desperation side of neediness, rather than the understanding of what basic needs are, simply as the fulfillment of everything that is relevant for you in life.
Yes.
And that's all there is to it.
A few times I've made a conscious choice of setting aside that desperation.
All right.
And it's been fine. It turned out fine.
Exactly. So why not continue to allow it to? You have to deal with the belief within you that, oh, this is too good to be true. It can't possibly continue.
Right.
Of course it can. Because it's not continuing. It's only existing in the now. Therefore, it's not about having to wonder or worry whether it will continue. That's a space-time perspective. If you're always in the now, it will always be here. Because it exists in the now just like you do. It doesn't have to be a situation of experiencing continuation in the way that you mean it, because you're also giving that a negative edge. Things that have to continue might not be able to continue.
Right.
Therefore, you're struggling with this paradoxical conundrum based on the idea that your perspective is one about having to continue instead of simply everything that I need is here and now, where I am. So no continuance per se is required in the way you've been structuring it. Of course, you will experience it in the next moment that you create, in the next and the next and the next, because you're always in the now moment, but just from a different point of view. And that pervades, that ability and what you need pervades all the points of view of the now moment. And that's what appears to be continuance from a space-time continuity perspective, but don't focus on the idea of the continuance. It's simply focusing in the now so that you can see and feel and experience the pervasiveness of what you need in the now. Just let time and space take care of itself in terms of creating the illusion of continuance.
What about the guilt that I feel sometimes when I see outside of myself, friends, or even the larger world suffering, yet I'm doing well?
So you don't deserve it, I guess. In your own mind.
I guess.
You just can't believe that little old you actually deserves to have this experience. But don't you understand that by allowing yourself to have this experience, then in the actions you take, you become a living example so that other people can see in you an option that they might then realize is available to them too? If you're guilty about it, you don't shine. And if you don't shine, others can't see that what it is you're giving off might actually be possible for them. You become a dark hole that they see no respite from. So if you refuse to shine because you believe you don't deserve it, then you're not giving other people the opportunity to see in you as an example that they could choose to shine too. Does that help?
It does. It's resonance and reflective.
Yes, yes. So being guilty means, well, I guess I shouldn't shine, and therefore I'm taking away from others the ability to know that shining is possible. That, if you're going to regret anything or feel guilty about anything, which I'm not saying you have to, that would be the thing to be guilty about, is not shining.
Yeah.
Therefore, the paradox is that to be guilty creates the situation you actually should be guilty about.
Yes.
Not shining. So don't be guilty so you can shine. And if you shine, you'll have nothing to be guilty about, because you will be serving others by shining and letting them know there's another option other than what they have already been experiencing, which is the lack of their own shining. Yes.
And I won't have reflected back to me a sense of jealousy or...
You might. I'm not saying that those people may not project their own issues upon you, but again, remember, what difference does it make what they do? Because you're not basing your state on any outside conditions, are you?
No.
Thank you. So who cares if some people are jealous or project negative ideas upon you? That's their issue. And by being in the state that you need to be in, you will recognize that it's their issue and not yours. Unless, of course, you feel like being convinced that it's your issue. But you're the one creating that state then for yourself again, by being convinced that they're right about you.